stop these wild swings in policies, the better off we're going to be. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back. Thank you.
The gentleman yields back. The gentlewoman from Michigan, Ms. Tlaib, is now recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you so much. You enforce the law. What is it, $183 million you got for our veterans?
Yes.
I mean, come on, corporations, businesses, follow the law. Follow the law and it won't cost you any money. Now, I know you're not going to be able to say that to my colleague, but it's true. I mean, look at this. 39 public enforcement actions involved harm to service members and veterans, including 6 enforcement actions or violations of the Military Lending Act. My God. Corporate greed is on array here in our country. It is. I mean, look, it's not like, poof, the money is it's going to our residents. It's going to our constituents and our families. I mean, I'm just looking at all of this, like even which is crazy, the amount of money our banks were just banking off our residents. That $6.1 billion, you were able to literally go after these large, big banks. There's some of them have business plans that over 50%, I don't know, maybe that's the credit card companies, over 50% of their business plan was overdrafts and fees. That's what it was. They were making money off of charging our residents these fees. I mean, it's not like you can take this money away from them if they applied it under the law, correct? They were violating consumer law. It's not, that's what you're doing. So if we have a new administration, that's what's going to happen. Nothing. Do you know how many times I sent various cases, Ranking Member Rodgers, you know how many cases I sent around service loan folks with student loan issues? Oh my God, the loan servicers were out of whack. I mean, give me a break. So I want to talk about bye-bye medical debt on credit reports. I am so incredibly happy to see that. One of the things that I think, Director, what really was just mind-boggling is hearing my residents talk about the fact that they would have to file bankruptcy, all of these things, because it was weighing down on them being able to access, housing, employment, and so forth. Can you talk, and I know this from the study that you all showed, when you did the study, it showed, the significant impact on our American families across the country to have medical debt on their credit report. But it was really an inaccurate, picture of someone's risk profile. It really was. Somebody gets sick and it gets on their credit report. Having that weigh down as if they bought some Porsche, I don't know, some car. I'm not very good at the car stuff, but something expensive, a luxury item. So, Director, let's talk about that burden and what this is going to do. How is it going to transform the families around the country?
Well, I think it's going to reduce so much of the harms, especially from inaccurate credit reporting of medical bills, which really debt collectors are not able to.
You got to explain that because you're really good at this. Explain that because people don't get it. It gets on their credit report and it was incorrect.
Yes, I think this is the difference. There's so much problems when you park this medical bills there. It may still be being adjudicated by an insurance company, and on top of that, no one is seeking out to have medical debt. You borrow money for a car because you want to get the car to get to work. You borrow money to get a home. You borrow money for an education. You're not just sort of eager to get medical debt. Mm-hmm. And I think that there's so many different facets of this. So we studied carefully the differences, and we have proposed also being more in line with what Congress wanted was to restrict medical information on people's credit reports. And I think this is a reasonable intervention to stop a lot of the inaccuracies. I think one of your colleagues said, well, can't they dispute it? How long will it take to deal with that? And what will the harm be when you're applying for that loan? I
mean, I think our chairman of our committee was talking about having to dispute it because I guess he actually paid his bill and is still somehow ended up.
So many people pay it just because they want the abuse to stop.
Yeah. Director, what are some of the coercive practices that debt collectors currently engage in, such as debt parking? Well, explain that to the American public.
Debt parking is where you put a debt on someone's credit report in the hopes that you can coerce them into paying to remove
You're too nice. You mean bully them.
Even if you don't even owe it or you've never even heard of it. And by the way, so much of the public has also paid one of those debts, even if they didn't owe it.
It's unbelievable. Another concerning practice, of course, is increasing use of medical credit cards and financing plans. I mean, corporate greed is just coming up with all kinds of various inventions. Just to be clear, Director, this week's proposed rule doesn't affect debts paid to medical credit card issuers, does it?
Yeah, if you pay a medical expense with a credit card,
Yeah.
any type of credit card, that will be classified separately and is not covered.
I think that's something we should actually look at together, but I really appreciate this. I just don't want my families, it's not their fault they got sick. They're just seeking help, and, medical debt, again, shouldn't be weighing down our families. Thank you so much, I yield.
The gentleman's time has expired. The gentleman from Texas, Mr. Session, is now recognized.
Chairman, thank you very much, Mr. Troper. You're almost at the end of this visit that you got with us, and thank you for taking time, not just informationally to be with us, but I think your attitude, I appreciate very, very much.